Rev up your engines!
Bruce P says, what do you think about Seafoam? Does it make an engine last longer? Okay, I'm not a Seafoam fan. I made a video about it. I'll tell you what I think of Seafoam, okay? Seafoam, it's called Seafoam for a reason. Because a long time ago, like in the 1940s or whatever, they used it in outboard motor engines that were two-stroke. They had two strokes. You had to mix the oil with the gas. And the Seafoam helped clean the carbon out of the engine. Those engines have a tendency of carboning up because you're mixing the oil and gas, and the oil that burns is going to create carbon on the rings and valves and stuff. So it was very good for that. We drive four-stroke water-cooled engines in cars today, and that cleaner is not made for them. Any cleaner that you're going to use, you really want the nitrogen-based cleaners in them. And from what I've read, the Seafoam does not use those nitrogen-based cleaners. I know that Chevron, Techron does. All the big ones that I know of contain it. They won't tell you what percentage it is, but they contain it. From what I've read and the research I've done, the Seafoam doesn't contain any of that. It's an expensive additive to put in, and that's probably why the other manufacturers don't tell you. Originally, Chevron, Techron told you how much of the nitrogen-based cleaner was in it, but they don't tell you anymore, so who knows how much is in there. But to my knowledge, the Seafoam doesn't have any in it, and I don't like it. Car asks, Scotty, should I use a single electrode spark plug or a multi-electric spark plug in my Volkswagen Golf Mark V? Here's the thing about spark plugs that you got to understand. Fire a spark. It makes an electric spark that ignites the gasoline. A spark will always move from one part where the power is to the ground top to wherever the closest and most electrically conductive part is. So, you got one electrode goes dot, 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 dot. If you got four, it isn't going to fire all four. It's only going to fire the one that's the closest that has the least electrical resistance. So it really doesn't make any difference, you know. That's just a gimmick that they used to put in cars, and most of them, they don't even use that stuff anymore. I think they finally realized that it was kind of absurd to do it because the electricity is always going to jump to the closest one that has the least electrical resistance. That's just how electricity works. You can't change the laws of physics. Angel Ortiz says, Scotty, I'm thinking about buying a 91 Jeep Wrangler for $3,500 and it's a straight six with a manual transmission. Is it a good buy? Okay, everybody knows that I hate Chrysler products, but that's a 91 Jeep with a straight six and a standard transmission. Those were rock solid engines and transmissions. I'd buy it. If you like that vehicle, buy it. You know, of course, check it out. Have a mechanic look at it if all possible. It's the frame's bent if it's been wrecked or flooded and stuff. But if it's in decent shape and it's got a manual transmission, hey, those things can run a really long time. Those straight sixes were very good engines. Saba Mako says, Scotty, what can you say about Toyota and Honda smaller engines like 1.4 or 1.6 in terms of reliability? Thanks. Well, they're very reliable engines. Honda's always made great engines, so has Toyota. Now, I know as time goes on, they're going to end up putting gasoline direct injection and turbochargers on all of them, and even known for their reliability, they will wear out faster. That's just common sense. That's going to happen. But if you're talking about the older ones that are just normally aspirated, oh, they can last forever. I mean, especially the 1.6s. They're good, strong engines. I've had many 1.6 Toyota engines myself, and they're just pretty much indestructible. You can't destroy them. They just keep running and running and running and running. Rivas 279 says, Scotty, what are some good inexpensive cars that are good for disabled people? Minivans are more expensive, require installation of ramps, and drive the price even higher. I have a customer who loves his Toyota Camry, who's disabled. Got giant trunks in them. Millions of them they sold. You can get used ones that are old and still in pretty good shape. Or if you can get a Sienna van, they've made those for years and years. I had a customer that last year sold a Sienna van. It only had like 90,000 miles, which is nothing for them, and he only got like a couple grand. That's all he wanted. It had a few dings and stuff on it, and that was a great car. He sold it to a Hispanic guy here that does lawn care, and he fits all his equipment, and he loves it. Steve Bro says, Scotty, what's your opinion on Chinese-made cars? Chinese used to make really crappy cars, but they're making them better and better and better because their factories are the most modern ones in the world. They're new. Robots are making them. From what I read, the biggest problem they have is they have to pay their workers a ton of money because most of their workers have to be qualified engineers who can maintain and reprogram the robots as they break down and as they need their periodic inspection. So they're whining that their labor costs are too high because the robots do most of the work and the guys that fix them have to know what they're doing. They don't sell them here yet in the United States, but I suppose one day they will, like everything else.
So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.